Then we pump those profits back into the profit cycle to generate even more profits. And I know what you're going to say. Profits? Yes, Stan. You're soaking in them.
Hey everybody, how's it going? It's your boy ExtrmWill, Extreme Tech. And do a quick video here, or probably not a quick video, I'm sure I'm going to get long-winded. Talking about Salad AI, how much, I think I have 27 machines running right now on Salad AI. How much they're making, kind of what I'm doing, what I'm seeing, and all that. We're going to talk, I got the game driver up right now, so we're going to talk a little bit about drivers, which one's probably the best ones to use and why. And get into all that. So I'm running everything on Windows 10, and like I said, 27 machines. So the first thing we're going to get into, I've been playing around a lot with the drivers the last couple of days because I stopped getting work altogether, and so I started playing around with this. It's kind of busy work to me. It feels like a little bit, but if it's going to help everything to run better when everything's not running, then it's definitely something I want to be doing. It's not something I overly focus on, but it is something I always have in the back of my mind. So I had been putting everything on the new drivers, and I was putting everything on the studio driver. So the studio driver is probably not a good idea. Actually, I wasn't necessarily focusing on the studio driver. I was focusing on whatever the newest driver was when I would do a driver update. Kind of looking into it more. Salad says specifically, because this is designed, Salad is designed for people to put their gaming PCs while they're not gaming, mining Salad. They want you to be using the Game Ready driver because it's actually designed for the Game Ready driver, not the studio driver. So you do want to make sure you're using the Game Ready driver. And then just watching normal like tech news kind of stuff. One of the things that's been coming out, all the new NVIDIA drivers since the 50 series came out, those drivers are all specifically geared for the new 50 series cards, so they're not necessarily playing correctly with the 30 and the 40 series cards. Like, you might not have an issue with it, and if you don't have an issue with it, then it's fine, but there's something going on they haven't fully quantified to figure out yet, where the new drivers aren't working correctly with the 30 series and the 40 series, where they're getting all kinds of random errors in all processes. So not just like a Salad thing, but in like video gaming and all kinds of other stuff, like whatever else you're doing with your computer, they're randomly black screening. So, I mean, all I'm running are 30 and 40 series cards anyways. I'm not running any of the new 50 series cards. So from what I've seen and heard, this is the last most stable version that they have. Or how do I point down here? This is the most stable version that they have. That looks like it should work fine for everything, for your 30 and 40 series cards. So this one is from Thursday, December 5th, version 566.36. And because we're running Salad AI, we're going to want to be running the Game Ready driver. Now, I took Skynet here off. I would probably still put the studio driver on Skynet just because I'm not really focusing on gaming on this. I spend more time on this probably in whatever my software is called here. What is this? Streamlabs OBS, and then on like different video editing software. So but I probably just put the Game Ready driver on it anyways. I don't even think I'd want to put the studio driver on. But for some of like the behind the scenes like YouTube stuff, the studio driver is better, but I think I should probably just do the game driver from now on. Just not even touch the studio driver. Yeah, there's probably no real reason for me to do the studio driver. That little bit of performance boost I would get from it is negligible. I should just do the Game Ready driver from now on. Just because you don't really want to play games on studio driver. It can do it just fine, but that 2 or 3%, I'd probably notice it a lot more, I think, from the gaming end. Or if I do decide to turn this back on sale again, because they got a bunch of 3090 jobs again that I want to throw it back on, then I will. But I think Skynet for now is going to be off. We'll get into that when we get in the machines. Part of the reason I'm only at 27 machines now instead of 29. But for the driver updates, I think this is really the one it looks like you really want to be using. Now, I guess when we get into how much I'm making, we'll discuss drivers more over there. So we'll refresh this to new. And then we'll go to page 2, salad earnings. Back. Page 3 work? No. So we'll come here, salad earnings, back arrow. All 3 up and working. Yeah. I'm not really running a ton of jobs. We do look at 30 are still showing. So on the first page, I guess none of my ones that are down are showing on here. I believe this is a 4090. The rest of these are doing pretty normal jobs. This, I think, is a 3060 12 gigabyte card. On the next page, I'm not sure which one this is at 10 cents. This must be a 3090. I don't know what is going on with this page. Nothing seems to be working good. Let's see. So this one's from 4 days ago, and this one's from 7 days ago. I believe the 7 days ago, this should be the one up in the office. I'm still waiting on parts. Technically, the FedEx thing says they're supposed to be here tomorrow, but they're not even in my region yet. The last update I have on FedEx when I checked said they're still in California. So maybe we'll get this one back up and running pretty soon. Who knows? This one, I don't know if this is Skynet or if this is the other one out in the garage I shut off. I shut one of the ones off in the garage because it keeps resetting the one that was upstairs. I think that motherboard is just bad. So I gotta figure out what I want to do with it. Because like it can do some things, but it doesn't stay on for salad. For salad, it'll stay on when it gets a job. It'll run a job for a couple hours and then reset. So it's just not doing any good at salad. I tried reinstalling Windows. So I'm just not going to worry about that. If we go to this last page, these are both 4090s here with the more money. And then this is either, as I said, this is either Skynet or the one upstairs, or the old one from upstairs that's out in the garage. It would be X4, I think, in my computer descriptions I have off. We'll see when we look at all of them. If we look at the last 24 hours, $15. Terrible. Not really very indicative of what I've really been seeing, but what I've seen really heavily in the last 2 days, which is part of the reason I did so much playing around with the drivers, try to see if I get it to work better. Because last 30 days still says I'm at $921, which is above my $900 average. So even though like the last 24 hours were terrible, I'm still averaging really good. So they're averaging pretty decent. So that's kind of how we look at that. Still over the 30 days, $30 a day, kind of average. So if we do come down here right now, oops, sorry, we changed all that, so I need to select all. And if we come down here, it looks like it did just start kind of crawling back up a little bit. It's at $1.16 right now for the last hour. So we'll see what this hour winds up pulling out. We probably won't see it in this video, but I'm hoping I'm getting back into that trend where everything is ready to rock and roll and go. But it's been pretty bad. I think the lowest point we have on here right now is 29 cents. I've definitely seen it worse than that in the last 2 days. So if we look at the last 7 days, we can see 7 days ago I was crushing it. It was still at like $2 an hour, making like $39 for the day. The next day was $34.80. Next day was $37.97. Next day was $36.68. And then here, it dropped off really hard. It was, my graph was at like $2 an hour, and the next hour it was down at I think like 60 or 80 cents an hour. It all fell off. There was really high demand for the jobs, which didn't make any sense to me at all. So I went and I put everything on the new driver because I'm thinking, well, let me try to get everything to work right. So I put everything on the latest NVIDIA driver, and then I gave it 24 hours, the latest NVIDIA gaming driver, because I still had some of them on studio driver. So I'm like, let me just get everything on the same driver again. It takes me like an hour and a half to probably do, because I've got to install the driver on each ROM and reset the machines, and it's a big hassle trying to do it on, on like 30 machines, trying to do the process over and over and over again. It's boring work, and it takes a long time. So it's not the thing I'm most excited for to go do a large sweeping change on my machines. But if it's necessary, because it looks like I'm not getting any work, then it definitely looks like it's necessary. So I did that. I did that for 24 hours, and that did not fix the problem. My income yesterday for the last 24 yesterday was $17.51. So yeah, probably averaging like 60-70 cents an hour kind of thing. Like, that's terrible. Terrible. So no good hour blocks in there at all. Just everything was just straight trash and garbage. So I started just kind of doing more random research on just the drivers, and that's when I was watching it's Hot News. I think it's technically the one I watch now for my daily tech news. I like it better than Linus for my daily tech news, because Linus is just, they do too many ad reads compared to how much news they're actually covering. Like, I don't need an ad read for every news story you cover. Like, there's no point in me watching you at that point if you're really just ads. I don't want to watch the ads anyway. So I like watching Hot News now, because she'll cover 6 stories with probably 1 ad read. So I think it's better. I was watching that, and that's where they were talking specifically about rolling back to this driver, to driver 5.5.36 for your 30 and your 40 series RTX cards. So I went and I did that, and then now, like 24 hours later, we're not seeing it in here yet, but I think if we do go back to the 24 hours, I think we are seeing, it does look like it's starting to pick up more jobs. Now, part of this, I think, is lack of demand, but the day everything went down for me and stopped working, it still doesn't make sense, because everything was in high demand while I was at 60 cents an hour. I wasn't necessarily at high demand, but I think the 3060 and the 4090 were both in high demand. And for the last several days, if we look at demand, 4090, 3060 Ti, 3060, and then the 3070 has been up here too. So, the top 4, right now, I don't have a 2080 Ti, but between the 4090s, the 3060 Ti's, 3060s, and 3070s, that's over half of my machines that should have been having work. I want to say that the 3060 Ti or the 3060 was in high demand with the 4090, and I wasn't running any work. All 3 of my 4090s weren't working. I was just barely doing anything. So I wanted to play around with everything, and yeah. So I did. It still didn't necessarily make sense. I think the next thing that I could think of for why I wasn't getting work, the only thing I could think of, is that maybe something had happened where none of the jobs wanted to run on Windows 10. Maybe they only want to run on Windows 11, which is the only other thing I can think of, because I'm still running everything on Windows 10. I don't think anything really ever runs properly on Windows the way it should, ever, unfortunately. I think Windows is just, it is what it is. It's kind of easy to use, but it's basically junk. I still like it much better than whatever Apple uses. I don't think Apple's intuitive at all. I don't like Apple. I don't like anything they have. But, I mean, it's, you're kind of limited in what you can do. Windows basically has the monopoly. Salad is only usable on Windows, so, it is what it is sometimes. And you just kind of got to do what you got to do. But I don't know. I do wonder if right now, if Salad would be running significantly better on Windows 11 than Windows 10. I haven't heard anything definitive to that point yet. If I do hear anything definitive to that point, I will unfortunately have to upgrade and then deal with all of my systems in general just not wanting to work as well, because Windows 11 is just trash. But yeah, I feel like Windows 10 it's trash, but it's a higher quality of trash that works a little better. It's refined trash. So we'll see how things go. The other thing I can think of with it, though, yeah, definitely I think maybe you need to upgrade to the new version of Windows, but we'll see. I don't know for sure if that's what it is. It could have been, too, when I updated my drivers, that I needed to be on the other drivers, which is why I was having a hard time getting work or something. And because, so, like, if you say you haven't updated your drivers right now, because I just rolled back to, like, it's almost 5-month-old driver. If you haven't updated your drivers in 5 months and you were still on that driver, you might have been fine. Might have been fine. Everything's working great, exactly how it's supposed to be. But trying to troubleshoot when stuff doesn't look like it's working right with Salad can definitely... I understand why everybody pulls their hair out, and I get it. I don't have much hair to start with anyway, so I don't have hair to be pulling out when I get frustrated. But, yeah. I think I have everything set up as optimally as it can be, except for potentially the Windows 11, or it could be too that I'm still running all DDR4 memory, and they might have done something where they're higher prioritizing DDR5 memory. So I might have been behind the scenes, could have potentially been deprioritized. I didn't see anything officially on that though, so I wouldn't really speculate on it being that. I didn't hear anything officially to say either that like Windows 11 is running better in Windows 10 or DDR5 is running better in DDR4. If they do get to the point where they come out and say you have to have all DDR5, I don't really know what that does to me necessarily. That probably has me just leave the project then, because I can't throw DDR5 memory on any of my DDR4 compatible motherboards. So, I don't know. We'll see though. Just different things I'm kind of trying to spitball in my head and wrap my head around, like, why was it not working? This is the best stuff I can come up with after thinking about this for, 2.5 days on end, nonstop, trying to figure out why I'm not getting jobs at the highest rate I'd like. I do think part of it, though, when I do the driver updates, I reset everything, so there is a chance that I may not be getting as many jobs right now as I would like to be getting or think I should be getting, because I did turn my machines off 2 days in a row to restart them. Like I properly down-powered Salad when I did it and turned everything on and off. But every time I did that, if I'm going to automatically step to the back of the line then, even with the high reliability score, I may step back from being, kind of higher in the line to being, like, instead of being in the top 25%, now I'm in the back 75%. Once I get up to the, the 50%, then I immediately step back again to the back 75% kind of thing. So who knows? Salad's just weird sometimes and just does weird Salad things. But trying to come up in my mind with different reasons, things that I could possibly fix that might make it work better and run better, because ultimately I just want to make the money and not have to put all this work and effort into it. But demand right now looks pretty good. Demand yesterday looked terrific. Demand the day before that was some of the best demand I've ever seen, and I wasn't getting any jobs on the best day of demand that I remember seeing since they put this chart out. So Salad is definitely funny sometimes. Right now, the RTX 4090, definitely in the top spot. I think if you can get a really good price on a 4090, it's probably not a terrible idea. Everything else, I don't think I would even want to try to speculate out right now, making a new rig and trying to get into this. But if you have equipment sitting around, like I know one of the comments I get sometimes is, why don't you do ROI videos? It's like, because everything I have, all of my equipment is ROI'd. It all ROI'd a long time ago, and that's why I'm using the specific equipment sets I'm using, because it all paid itself off on previous projects. Now, when I started Salad, I did not expect Salad was going to be running this long. My initial investment when I got into Salad, does it show it on this one? Let's come to this one. I've already made like $8,500. My initial thing when I got in on Salad was, I think I was going to spend about $5,000, and I literally only planned to make $2,500. I was going to say, my initial thought was I was going to spend the money, and if this project could pay for half of my upgrade, I was going to be fine with that, because the goal for me doing Salad wasn't really to be on Salad this long. It was for me to be able to pivot to another one that I thought worked better and ran better and more efficiently. But I don't think anybody else has come out yet who's actually proved that they're running better or more efficient yet. There was talks a long time ago that like NiceHash and Flux were going to get in on this, and they were going to do it better, and I haven't seen it yet. Don't know if we're going to see it yet. So yeah. But it's just kind of some rough investment kind of stuff. So the demand in general, though, looks pretty good. Right now, definitely weird. 5070 looks like it's crazy. It every day will bounce back and forth between being in high demand and being in low demand. Yeah, I don't understand why Salad right now isn't completely dominated by the 50 series cards. The only real thing that I can think of is there aren't enough 50 series cards on the network to actually make a container for a customer to actually want to buy a container job with them. Because like when they buy these container jobs, they're not renting one GPU. It's not just renting yours. You know, when they rent like the 3090 job out, you know, they rent 1,000 of them out, and 1,000 of us are working together to complete that one job. So, you know, we're all doing 1,000th of it. So there isn't a chance that even if we could crack Salad AI's security, you have 1,000th of this person's proprietary job. Like, you're not going to be able to do anything with it the way it's decentralized, which I think is a really cool way to do it. But you don't really have enough of it to really make sense of what it is you're doing. So you can't steal someone's stuff, even if you really wanted to. Like, so it's good security for everybody kind of thing. But that's kind of how the containers are set up, you know. So like, I think the problem is that this has to be my thought, is a customer comes in and says, okay, I want to run a 5070 job. I need 1,000 5070s to run this container for like a week. And they start running it, and there's only 30 people on it. So this job that the customer wants to pay for, that they expect is going to be done in a week because they can only get, you know, 30% of the cards, it's now looking like it's going to take them 3 weeks. They don't have to pay as much for it, but it's going to take them 3 weeks to get this done instead of 1 week. And the customer's like, why are we trying to pay this premium? Because there just aren't enough of these on the network. This is my only thought. This is the only thing that makes sense in my head. I could be completely wrong, you know. I know there are people who watch us sometimes who have way more inside knowledge than me, and they'll send me messages and stuff. So if I am way wrong, I mean, you can just send me a message, tell me I'm way wrong, or post in the comments down below. I read the comments. I mean, I think I've been pretty good on them the last couple days. I'm off work, but I'm doing the video right now, right after getting out of the gym, because I know that if I go upstairs and take a shower, I'm going to fall asleep on the couch, and then be sitting on the couch and be all groggy and be like, oh, I don't want to make a video now. I'm too tired. I'll do it later, because that's what I've been doing. I'll do it later, and then we get my daily video once a week. So, yeah, but I definitely think that's kind of what it's been. But yeah, with the comments, as I was saying, like, there have been a lot of people who posted comments where I've been sitting in here, like, checking my email at the time, see it come up. Literally, I've had like 3 of them in the last like 2 or 3 days. Within like 60 seconds, I have a reply because I just happened to be sitting here when they're commenting, and I'm like, I'm on the ball. I'm good at this. So that's been kind of cool. But yeah, as of right now, so I'm saying I have 29 machines, so I got 3 4090s, 4 3090s, 2 4070 Ti's, 1 4070, 3 4060 Ti's, 3 3060s, 3 3060 Ti's, 4 3070s, 2 3070 Ti's, 2 3080s. My laptop I still have not looked at yet. It's still sitting here. I think I just want to try to reinstall Windows on it and see if that'll fix what's wrong with it. I'm not in a real big hurry to touch it because I don't think it's going to make literally any difference right now if I get it back to working properly or not. Because I'm not going to use it for anything, I don't think. I already put Skynet back in here. We're going to leave Skynet back in here. I would like to get more memory in there, so I probably in the next couple weeks will start buying more RAM. Yeah, I'll probably start buying more RAM so I can put Skynet back up to 128 gigabytes of RAM, just so when I'm doing something like this, I don't have to worry about multitasking too much, because I like doing massive multitasking. Let's see, this one, I pulled the 3070 Ti out of this one. I put the 3060 in it because it was getting a little too hot, but I'm still waiting on parts for this one so I can put it back in. This one, the CPU was overheating, so I bought a bigger fan. I bought a significantly bigger fan, and when I bought the new fan and pulled it out with the AMD chip in there, it pulled the chip out, wrecked the chip and the motherboard, and very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. So I'm still going with the exact same chip. I have a different motherboard and a better fan, but just waiting on parts to come in for it. So I got the best deal on the board by buying one directly from MSI. So it was like $10 cheaper to buy it from MSI than to buy it from Amazon. So, but the problem with that is shipping is way longer. So, and then this one, this is the one that was upstairs for a long time in there. I knew the motherboard, there's something weird with it. It just seems like it's not working right. So that's why I don't know how many cards I have anymore, which ones are in there, because I think I have 3 cards that I'm not using now that I was using forever. Because I had 30 machines up and running for a long time, but right now, like any machine I think I can justify turning off right now, I'm going to justify just turning off, because if it's not making money, then it's not making money, but it keeps getting real weird and going back and forth, because it's, let's see here, well, maybe it'll last like 30 days. So, here I'm okay with everything. Any way I can point this better? No, because you can't see my finger. So, here I'm okay with everything. Here I want to sell everything. Here I get a little bit of hopium. Here I lose it all. Here I go, it's good enough, it's good enough. I go like, ooh, wow, this is amazing. This is the best project I've ever done. Oh, wow, I love selling. I would never want to sell anything. I would never want to sell. Maybe I should sell. This looks a little iffy. No, why would I sell? Why would I sell? Why would I sell? What the fuck am I doing with my life? So, yesterday and today, I want to sell everything. But I know, I mean, it was a couple days ago. Like, yeah, no, everything's fine. Just leave it all running. It's all great. I've been monitoring my electric more, too, as well. I guess we're probably not going to get into all the individual machines and what everyone's making. We already kind of soft covered it. We're already coming up on that 30-minute mark. But, what was I saying? Selling stuff? No, monitoring my electric. So I'm trying to do a better job monitoring that. Every time I come in and out of the house now, I've been walking into the server closet, checking to see what I'm getting for readings. I think right now on, I guess like 12 machines, I'm reading less than 4 amps, whereas when I made my video complaining about the electric usage on those same 12 machines, I think it was at like 12 amps. So right now I think was it like 3 amps? So it's like, yeah, there can be variance in how much electricity it's using on jobs, and it just seemed a little weird that all of a sudden everything I was using seemed to be using significantly more electricity. I think I noticed it easier though because of the raise in my electric rate. I think if one or the other did not happen, I would not have noticed that both had happened. Because it would have been like, it's small enough variance where I'm not really going to catch it. Like, I'm not, if I have like a $500 to $700 a month electric bill, I'm not going to notice $50. Like, that's within my $200 variance range kind of thing. But I guess I'm not really expecting a $700 a month electric bill, and then when I get a $700 electric bill, I'm like, what? I mean, there are times, I guess like August and September. Right now, that worries me a little bit. August and September, there's potential for me having $1,000 a month for both months, because that's prime, the hottest. Don't come to Florida in August and September. You don't want to be here then. You want to be here now. It's nice and cool. It's 85 and sunny every day. Spring, winter, probably the most amazing times to come here. Fall's too hot. Summer's okay. Like, summer's going to be probably the same temperature. If you're in the U.S., summer's the same temperature pretty much everywhere in the U.S. Like, it might be a little bit warmer here or a little bit more humid depending on where you're coming from. But, like, when I go back to Milwaukee, where I'm originally from, I'm in Tampa area now, and I go back to Milwaukee, like, you know, unless I go and it's a real shitty day, I don't necessarily notice. Milwaukee's right on Lake Michigan anyway, so the humidity in Milwaukee is pretty much tends to be like the same it is here. It's probably a little bit more intense here at night, maybe, than in Milwaukee. Milwaukee might cool down a little bit more, but in the summer in Milwaukee, it still doesn't. The humidity's still there all night. Like, it doesn't cool down that much, so. Yeah, let's see here. We're not going to go into the individual machines because that's going to run way too long. We already kind of basically covered it. The 3060s, not 3060s, the 4090s are all making, same thing they pretty much always make, $6.20 a day. I think I have one 3090 maybe that looks like it's probably at like 10 cents an hour. Do I want it at 10 cents an hour? Yeah, this one's at 10 cents an hour, so that's $2.62 a day. For the most part, everything else is either at, what is weird, 60 cents an hour and 72 cents an hour, or 7 cents an hour and 6 cents an hour are definitely a little weird. So, let's see, I have 6.5 cents is $1.55. So the 6 cents is probably like $1.40 a day, and the 7 cents is probably like $1.80 a day, maybe. But 4.5 cents is $1, which I don't think anything is making $1 right now. So that's, I mean, I guess it's all okay. 3060 sometimes will make 4.5 cents an hour, which is $1 a day. Most of my 8 gigabyte cards, the 30 series cards, basically everything other than the 4090s normally does like 5.5 cents a day right now at $1.30 for like what I have. Sometimes you'll see some outliers. So like this one at 7 cents and this one at 6 cents. They're getting paid a little bit more for more RAM and cores. I believe this is a 3090 job, so it's probably also paying, you know, paying for the 3090 and the more RAM. 64 gigabytes of RAM. This is a 4090 on a cheaper job. So let's take a look at the last video maybe and see what do we have in comments from here. Anything in here that I should be addressing? A lot of comments in here. So these are all, for the most part, these are 4 days old. I didn't really look at them before I did this, so I'm sorry if I brutalize all this. So, Darnell, the last 3 days, my 3 rigs have had 99% of jobs of the time. Nice change, hope it lasts. Hopefully, they're still all running really good. He made another post. He just got solar to save money, so I mean that's definitely pretty cool. I looked into that a little bit. I definitely like to look into the solar a little bit more, especially with the raise in our electric rate we just had. I didn't really know this was coming. I know when I had a guy out here looking at doing solar like 8 months ago, it looked like, like, I think that might have been before I started Salad or right when I started Salad he came out here. Because it looked like if you do solar, you pretty much have to be committed to, I am 100% going to use all of this electricity all the time for as many solar panels as I get to make this worth my while. Because you don't, the electric company doesn't pay us for when we give them more, so it's it looked kind of hit or miss, but it looked pretty cool. I think I'd like to get into solar and still like the technology to get a little bit better. And I think the biggest thing I want solar shingles, not really solar panels. But I think if my HOA will let me do an aluminum roof that looks like shingles, and then I could put the panels on top of it, I think I'd be okay with it. In the last hurricane, I'm worried about having panels because I'm worried a hurricane is going to just like rip them off. But from what I saw looking in my neighborhood, like there's a ton of people on my block have solar panels. It looked like the part of the roof with the solar panels actually looks like it held up 10 times better or 100 times better than the part of the roof without the shingle, without the panels. So looks like they bolt those panels on. They're not coming off. They're going to stick better than your actual roof will. So I don't think the fear of losing the panels in a hurricane is as much as I would have just guessed that it was. Looks like it's probably better. Rico says, get metered PTUs. and get accurate power consumption reports every month. Yeah, I've tried and failed at that. I will get back to trying it again. It's one of those, like, spending money on something that's not actually making me money. Is that a good investment or a bad investment? For the YouTube channel, if I was making money on the YouTube channel, because I don't have enough subscribers yet, I'm not at like I think I need 1,000 subscribers. I'm sure I have more than enough content and views and all that, but I think I need 1,000 subs to be able to make money off my videos. So until I hit 1,000 subscribers, spending money on YouTube specific stuff kind of comes into more of how much free money do I have available. I did try. Like, I have two metered PDUs. I have one non-metered PDU, which was the very first one that I bought. So I've only bought 3 in my entire time in crypto. So the very first one I bought wasn't metered. I bought it because it was the cheapest one I could get. And then I bought 2 more that were metered because I saw the value in it immediately. I'm like, this is way better to be metered. I honestly never thought I was going to use that third one again. And then when I got into Salad, I'm like, oh, I need more PDUs. Actually need a 4th one. So I bought a 4th one that's metered off Facebook Marketplace, and it doesn't work. So it's still literally mounted out in my garage. I haven't unmounted it yet to throw it away because I don't even know how I'm going to throw it away. It's like 6 feet tall. So I don't even think I can throw it in my garbage can. Plus it's an electronic, so I don't think I can throw it in my garbage can. I literally think I have to make a trip to the dump specifically to throw it away. So it's just frustrating, and yeah, I think like the PDU I want, it's like $450 probably. So it's just a little bit expensive to buy the nicer metered ones. So I'll get there eventually. Not making money on the YouTube videos makes it much harder for me to try to do stuff like that, but I'll get there eventually. Because I'd like that information too. Like, it makes it much easier for me while I'm trying to break stuff down. Exactly what am I doing and what am I seeing? Like, I know the 1 month for February, I thought my electric bill was just high because I did the warthog mining with like 20 machines for like a week on BC slash, I don't even know what it'd be called, for the jellyfish thing, for the Brandon Coin thing, and his new thing he had, you know, like, it seemed like exactly what I wanted, and they gift wrapped that project for me. I wasn't here the day it launched. I think I was out on vacation. As soon as I got home, I started switching everything over, went on it, and then Zagex got hacked, and the whole thing fell apart. And be careful what you wish for, because sometimes you get it, and the whole world goes stupid. But anyways, so for February, I thought my electric bill was just more, because I thought my consumption on Salad was, or not on Salad, I thought my consumption on Warthog was significantly more than it was, but it was probably pretty reasonable. I think my electric rate just went up a lot higher, and I didn't take that into account. So, Gert SJ, power limit your cards. Cards can safely do 70 or even 65% as long as Salad does not give you an error about power limit. Been doing this since day 1. I think I might look into that. I didn't want to look into it for a long time because Salad doesn't necessarily give you an error when something is wrong. So I may look into power limiting my cards. I don't think Salad's not necessarily giving me 100% of what I want, so I don't know if I necessarily have to give Salad 100% of what they want. I may get a little shady with that. We'll see. I may try to do it and see if I do get errors with it, then I think I'm going to stop. But I may try to see if I can power limit some of them. We'll see how it goes. User RX4IP, add the cost of all your machines and what your time is worth. Everything's already paid off, so I don't necessarily know what the cost of all my machines would be, and trying to calculate that all out. Like, I've done rough estimates on it. I don't necessarily care. Everything I have is from previous projects that's paid off. The little bit I did invest in growing into this has already paid itself off, so not really that worried about it. Now, trying to figure out if it'd be worth expanding on is something interesting, but I don't know. I might be maxed out with the 5 gigabyte fiber up and down for what my internet can actually handle. I don't fully know I don't know if it's just that the ISP is not always giving me the full 5 gig up and 5 gig down, and that's why sometimes it looks like I have an internet error, or if it's that I'm actually capping that out with trying to run this many, and Salad is now using that much more bandwidth than it used to use, where when I calculated it out earlier, like those numbers don't apply anymore. Because as Salad makes changes behind the scenes, we don't always know what they did or what that effect is going to be on us. So I do wonder right now a little bit if my 5 gig is even enough to actually run 30 machines. So I don't have a problem right now with me only running the 27 today. Or I've run 27 for a couple days. I don't have a problem with that as much, because I think it might almost be helping everything run a little bit better. I don't know, though. We'll see. I'll try to do more looking into that, too. Adam Hughes, 4090s, running 10-cent jobs when it had been at 26 to 30 cents. I believe he's talking about 10 cents per hour, which, yeah, sometimes your 4090 can pick up. They would have been like the old 3090 jobs at the 10 cents an hour. I got one of mine right now. If we look at these, see this one's at that's like $6.20, $6.20. This one's at a weird amount, 16.55. So this is at about $4 a day. So this one's running at a little bit different amount, but yeah, sometimes I can do some weird stuff. It's not always running the most premium job. Normally, I would say to Adam, make sure you're at 64 gigabytes of RAM and just keep it running. Hopefully your next one will be better. I definitely wouldn't dump that job or like reset your machine or anything like that. You want to, whatever work you get, you want to run it, finish it. Even like the 10-cent jobs, you don't want to be, if you're getting like it's like zero, 0.0044 cents per hour is like 10 cents per day. You don't even want to be canceling out of those, because that can hurt your reliability score. It's going to make it less likely for you to pick up the container job, and less likely you're going to get the better container job. So I'd say, just make sure you're at 64 gigabytes of RAM and constantly running. And guys, my actual response, every once in a while I'll get 10 cents. I'll get the 10-cent an hour jobs on mine too. But it's not normal. So God and Z. Not all jobs are equal. Some use way more power, and some is basically idle. Yeah, I mean, it's weird because like it did look like it was like over the course of a month, it looked like it was averaging out a little bit better, and it looked there like I did definitely see a massive spike while I was looking at it specifically of it just taking, twice as much electricity that I had not seen yet. I do a decent amount of monitoring. I don't always report on all of it, but like I have power monitoring stuff, electric monitoring stuff, and like, yeah, just not ever really seeing it going full tilt on that kind of scale like that, where I've got the 1 meter, I have 9 machines on it, and seeing the 9 machines being all like, yeah, like we are drawing way more power than you thought this was going to draw. And now, like, I almost need to figure out, is that even, I think that's big enough, because it's a 15 amp PDU on, I believe, a 30 amp fuse. Yeah, so that's still fine. We're still within the 80% rule. But like, yeah, like it wasn't really set up to be pushing some of this stuff that far. So bleach. You will understand what I'm talking about when I mention it. Something, and just drop off. YouTube needs to make it so you can add screenshots. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if YouTube necessarily needs that screenshots. Like, I believe whatever you're saying. Whatever you want to report in there or write in there. It's just weird to see it in that instant, and then add on top of that the fact that my electric just went up like 3 cents a kilowatt hour. Like, it's So this is not as profitable for me as it was before. It's still not unprofitable, but it's definitely more in that gray area where selling my equipment off right now looks a lot more tempting if I have like a bad day at this. So, and then Foxmo, can you run two 4090s on one motherboard with salad? There's a bunch of different comments in here. There's no point in running multiple GPUs on a motherboard because you can still only run one job. You're more likely to actually run into errors if it doesn't know which GPU it's supposed to grab. So if you have two GPUs on there, you are going to run into more errors because you can only run one job at a time, and each GPU is going to be trying to grab a job. So you can constantly have it where one GPU is canceling out your other job and making you dump a job so you can pick up the new job. And then you're just completely destroying your reliability score because it's your fault you keep dropping jobs. So that would be the easiest way to get your reliability score in the tank where you will never get a good job. Because it will literally be classified as your fault for kicking the jobs out. So, yeah, geez, we're at 45 minutes. So in the beginning, I tried saying this was going to be short. Obviously, didn't go anywhere near short, but maybe I can do another one. Hopefully, the next day or two, and we'll go through every job on each machine and what's in each machine. So, if you like the content, hit the like button, subscribe, come on back. Hopefully, the next one I can get back to keeping this under 30 minutes because I think 45 minutes just starts seeming like it's too big. It's not profitable enough. Salad isn't profitable enough right now to justify a 45-minute video. It gets profitable enough to justify a 30-minute video to look in and go like, okay, I see it, I get it, I see it, I get it, I see what you're saying, I get it, I see what you're saying, I get it. But 45 minutes on something that's, I made $15 yesterday. It's not worth it. But hopefully, like today, I'll get back up to by today, I guess today's already halfway over. I don't think today can get back up to $30. Hopefully tomorrow I'll get back up to $30. So we'll see. Yeah, I'll try to get another video out. I don't go back to work till Monday, I don't think. So hopefully I can get another video or two out this weekend. See if I can find something that looks interesting and isolate and talk about it. So yeah, like the video, like button, subscribe, comment down below. I'll pretty active in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.